Here's a question worth being honest about for a second. If the job vanished tomorrow, if the boss called and said the role was gone, how long could you actually survive on what's sitting in your bank account right now? For most Australians, the answer is terrifying. Not months, not even weeks for some. And it's not because you're bad with money, it's because there's a story that gets sold from a very young age. Go to school, get a good job, work hard, and everything will be fine. But nobody mentions the catch. That single 9 to 5 paycheck, the one thing an entire life is built on, is also the most fragile thing you own. And the scary part is how normal it feels right up until the day it stops. Nobody gets a warning. The job feels safe on a Friday and gone by Monday. And deep down, you probably already feel this. You feel it when the rent goes up again. You feel it at the checkout when $100 buys what 60 used to. You feel it when payday comes and the money's already spoken for before it even lands. In November 2025, Westpac released research showing that more than half of Australians are either already earning money from a side hustle or seriously thinking about starting one. The majority of the country has decided that one income is no longer enough. And here's why that matters more now than ever. Wages have been crawling while the price of almost everything has sprinted ahead. The Australian Bureau of Statistics put average weekly earnings at just over $2,000 in late 2025. But for most households, that number doesn't stretch the way it used to. The gap between what comes in and what life costs has been widening for years. So the smart ones aren't waiting for a pay rise that never comes. They're building something on the side, on their own terms, that the boss can't take away. So here's exactly how everyday Aussies are doing this. Start with the foundation, dividend investing. When you buy shares in solid Australian companies or an ETF that holds hundreds of them at once, those companies pay you a slice of their profits. Australia has something special called franking credits, which means a lot of that income arrives having already been taxed at the company level, so it isn't hit twice. Those dividends get reinvested, the pile grows, and one day the income coming in starts to look like a second wage. Even putting away a small amount every single payday adds up faster than most people expect, because the returns start earning returns of their own. That's compounding, and it's the closest thing to a financial superpower that ordinary people have access to. The catch? It's slow, it rewards patience, but it's real and it works while you sleep. Most people quit because nothing seems to happen for the first few years. Then the curve bends, and suddenly the growth outpaces anything a pay rise could ever match. Now, investing takes money that might not be spare right now, so consider turning time and skills into cash, faster. Freelancing is booming. If you can write, design, edit videos, build websites, or manage social media, there are people paying good money for those exact skills. The same goes for the practical trades of the gig economy: cleaning, handyman work, tutoring, pet sitting. Unsexy, yes. But a good cleaner with a handful of regular clients can pull serious money on the weekend, and the demand never dries up. And here's the part most people miss. That freelance money doesn't have to just get spent. Funnel even half of it straight into those investments from a moment ago, and suddenly two side incomes are working together, one earned with your hands, one growing on its own. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this part deserves real attention. The biggest shift happening right now is people building income from things they only have to create once. Digital products, online stores, assets that sell again and again while life carries on in the background. Because there's a ceiling to trading hours for dollars. There are only so many hours. But a product can sell at 2 in the morning while you're fast asleep. That's the leap from earning more to building wealth. And this is exactly why today's video is sponsored by Printful, because they've made this leap genuinely possible for normal people with zero startup capital. Printful is a print-on-demand platform. It lets anyone design and sell custom products without touching stock, paying upfront, or shipping a single order. The product list includes t-shirts, hoodies, hats, mugs, posters, tote bags, phone cases, and over 450 other items. Here's how it works. Upload a design, choose a product, list it in an online store like Etsy, Shopify, eBay, or your own website. When someone buys, Printful prints the item, packs it, and ships it straight to the customer with your brand on it. The profit goes back to you. No warehouse, no staff. For Australians who want a real second income but don't have hours of free time each day, this is one of the lowest risk ways to start. You can build a brand around a hobby, a community, or a niche you spot online. What makes Printful even better is how easily it grows. The same store can sell 5 products a month or 5,000. And the work stays nearly the same because the printing, packing, and shipping is done in the background. There are also built-in design tools, mock-up makers, and easy links to every major store platform. That means a total beginner can launch a real online brand in one afternoon. Many Australian sellers start with simple text designs around topics they know well, like fitness, parenting, tradie humour, or local sports, and grow from there. The link to get started is in the description below. Even one weekend of setup that turns into a few $100s a month is a few $100s more than before. And in this economy, that matters. Now here's the straight truth. None of this is magic. Nobody gets rich by Friday. Anyone promising that is selling a dream. The Australians who actually break free, the ones who go from lying awake at night to genuinely sleeping easy, they all have one thing in common. They started small and they started before they felt ready. They picked one thing and they gave it real effort for 90 days instead of trying 5 things for 5 days each and quitting. That last part is where almost everyone trips up. The problem is rarely the idea itself. It's jumping from one shiny idea to the next every time the first one gets hard. And the truth is everything worth having gets hard around week 3. So let's make this practical. The homework after this video is simple. Pick one path. If there's a bit of savings and the patience to match, open a brokerage account and start with a low-cost ETF. If money's needed sooner and there's a skill to sell, get listed on a freelance platform. And if there's an idea, a creative streak, or even a small following, set up a Printful store this week and test it. Don't overthink the perfect choice. The perfect choice is the one you'll actually follow through on. And whatever gets chosen, set a tiny first target, because something shifts in the brain the moment that money lands. It stops being a fantasy and becomes a fact, and proof is what builds belief. Because here's the truth that changes everything. Wealth in this country was never really about a massive salary. It's about control. It's about waking up one morning and realizing money is flowing in from more than one direction, and not all of it depends on clocking in. That's the moment the fear starts to fade. That's the moment you stop working purely to survive and start building something that's genuinely yours. The cost of living isn't going to wait. Prices keep climbing whether anyone acts or not. But the difference between the Australians who feel trapped and the ones who feel free usually comes down to a single decision made on an ordinary day. If this video gave you a wake-up call, do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.